Imagine a book. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It has characters you might love or, maybe even hate. It has a world you can almost touch. Now, imagine the author of this book is not a person. It is not someone with memories of childhood or the pain of a broken heart. The author is a machine. This is no longer a story from a distant future. It is happening now, today, on October 4th, 2025. Artificial intelligence, or AI, can write entire novels. It can build stories from nothing but a simple idea. This new writer does not need coffee or a quiet room. It only needs data and a command. The idea of a machine telling stories feels, strange. We think of storytelling as a deeply human act. We tell stories to understand ourselves. We share them to connect with others. Can a machine truly do this? Can it understand the feeling of joy or the weight of sorrow? The AI does not feel. It calculates. It looks at millions of stories written by humans. It learns the patterns. It sees how we build our worlds and our heroes. Then it uses these patterns to create something new. The result can be surprisingly human. It can be a story that makes you think or a story that makes you feel. This new technology brings many questions. What does it mean for human writers? Are we being replaced by machines that can write faster and cheaper? Or is this a new tool, like the typewriter or the word processor? Perhaps AI is a partner. It can help us when we are stuck. It can give us ideas we never would have had on our own. The machine can generate 100 different beginnings. The human writer can choose the one that feels right. The human can add the soul, the spark of life that a machine cannot yet create on its own. It is a new kind of collaboration. We stand at a crossroads in literature. The paths ahead are not yet clear. One path leads to a world where stories are made quickly, like fast food. They might fill a need but lack real substance. Another path leads to a new golden age of creativity. Writers could be freed from the hard work of plotting and drafting. They could focus on the deeper parts of their stories. AI could help us tell stories that were too complex to write before. It could open doors to new forms of literature we cannot even imagine yet. The story of AI and writing is just beginning, and we are all characters in it. The journey of AI in writing did not begin with novels. It started with very simple things. In the middle of the 20th century, scientists created programs that could make basic sentences. These early machines were like children learning to speak. They could string words together, but the results were often clumsy and honestly made little sense. They might produce a sentence like, "The sun is a big, hot ball." It was a start, but it was not storytelling. It was just a machine following simple rules. The programs had no understanding of what the words meant. They were just arranging symbols. Over the decades, technology grew more powerful. Computers became faster. Scientists developed new ways for machines to learn. They created something called neural networks. These are computer systems modeled on the human brain. They can learn from examples, just like we do. Instead of giving the AI strict rules, developers gave it books. They fed it millions of pages of text from libraries and the internet. The AI read everything. It read classic novels, poetry, news articles, and blogs. It learned the rhythm of language. It learned grammar and style without being explicitly taught. The big change came with large language models, or LLMs. These are enormous neural networks, trained on vast amounts of information. They are the engines behind the AI we see today. These models can do more than just make sentences. They can understand context. They can remember what was said earlier in a conversation or a story. This ability to remember is crucial for writing a long story like a novel. A novel needs to keep track of characters, plot points, and details from beginning to end. Early AI would forget a character's name from one chapter to the next. Modern AI can maintain consistency over hundreds of pages. Now AI can write a whole book. A human might give it a starting point. For example, Write a mystery novel set in a city on Mars in the year 2242. The AI takes this idea and begins to build. It creates a world. It imagines what a Martian city would look like. It thinks about the technology people would use. It creates characters to live in this world. It designs a detective with a troubled past. It invents a victim with dangerous secrets. Then it weaves these elements into a plot. It writes chapter by chapter, building suspense until the final reveal. The machine is no longer just arranging words, it is constructing a narrative. A story is nothing without its characters. They are the heart of the narrative. We follow them, we worry about them, and we see the world through their eyes. A great character feels real. They have hopes, fears, and flaws. Creating such a character has always been a human art. But now, AI is learning how to do it. An AI can generate a character with a detailed backstory. It can give them a personality, a unique voice, and a goal to strive for. It does this by analyzing countless characters from the books it has read. It learns the archetypes, the hero, the mentor, the trickster. The AI does not just create a static character, it can also build character development. This is the journey a character takes through the story. They might start as timid and become brave. They might begin as selfish and learn to care for others. The AI can plan this arc. It can create specific events in the plot that challenge the character. These challenges force the character to change and grow. For example, in a fantasy novel, a young farmhand might be forced to leave their home. The AI can write scenes where the character faces danger, makes difficult choices, and learns new skills. This gradual transformation makes the character feel dynamic and alive. How does an AI build a plot? A plot is a series of connected events. It needs structure. It needs rising action, a climax, and a resolution. AI learns these structures from the millions of stories it has analyzed. It understands that a mystery needs clues and a romance needs obstacles. A human writer can give the AI a basic outline, or the AI can generate a plot from scratch based on a genre or theme. It can create surprising twists and turns. It can ensure that every event moves the story forward. The machine acts like an architect, designing the blueprint of the story before the first word is written. Of course, the process is not perfect. Sometimes the AI makes mistakes. A character's motivation might suddenly seem unclear. A plot point might not make logical sense. The AI might repeat itself, using the same phrases or ideas too often. This is because the AI does not truly understand the story it is writing. It is a master of patterns, not meaning. It predicts the next most likely word, and the word after that. This can create a story that looks good on the surface, but feels hollow underneath. The result can sometimes be a story that has all the right parts, but is missing a soul. Every story takes place somewhere. This setting is the world of the story. It can be a real city, a historical period, or a fantasy realm that exists only in the imagination. A good setting feels rich and detailed. It affects the characters and the plot. AI is becoming very skilled at creating these worlds. It can invent entire planets with unique ecosystems and alien species. It can describe a futuristic city with flying cars and towering skyscrapers. It does this by combining and reimagining information it has learned. It might mix elements of ancient Rome with science fiction to create a new, unique civilization. The AI's ability to create worlds extends to the smallest details. It can describe the food people eat, the clothes they wear, and the laws they follow. It can generate the history of a fantasy kingdom, including its wars, its rulers, and its myths. This deep world building makes the story more immersive for the reader. It makes the world feel solid and real. A writer could spend months or even years developing a world for their novel. An AI can generate a detailed world in a matter of minutes. This allows the writer to start telling their story much more quickly. The machine can handle the heavy lifting of world building. One of the most impressive skills of modern AI is its ability to copy different writing styles. A writer's style is their unique voice. It is the way they choose their words and structure their sentences. Some writers use long, complex sentences. Others use short, simple ones. An AI can analyze the style of a specific author, like Ernest Hemingway or Jane Austen. Then it can write new text in that same style. It can mimic the stark, direct prose of Hemingway, or it can reproduce the witty, formal language of Austen. This ability is sometimes called style transfer. This mimicry opens up fascinating possibilities. A writer could ask the AI to draft a chapter in the style of their favorite author to get inspiration, or a reader could ask for a new story about their favorite characters, written in the original author's voice. However, this also raises difficult questions about originality and copyright. Who owns the style of an author? Is it fair for a machine to copy it? If an AI writes a novel that sounds exactly like a famous writer, is it a clever tribute or a form of theft? These are new legal and ethical challenges that we are only just beginning to face in this new era of literature. Even with all its power, AI cannot write a great novel alone. The human writer is more important than ever. The AI is a tool, but the human is the artist. The AI can generate endless pages of text, but the human provides the vision. The human writer decides what the story is really about. They choose the theme. They decide the message they want to send to the reader. An AI can write a story about a war, but a human writer can use that story to say something profound about peace, loss, or courage. This deeper meaning, this purpose, comes from human experience. The role of the writer is changing. It is becoming more like the role of an editor or a director. The writer guides the AI. They give it prompts and instructions. They review the text the AI produces. They cut the parts that do not work. They rewrite sentences to make them better. They look for errors in logic and inconsistencies in the plot. The writer must find the good ideas hidden within the machine's output. They must polish the raw material the AI provides. It is a partnership, a dance between human creativity and machine intelligence. The human curates the story. Furthermore, the AI lacks lived experience. It has never felt the warmth of the sun on its skin. It has never known the joy of friendship or the pain of goodbye. All its knowledge about these things is secondhand, learned from text. A human writer brings their own life to their work. Their memories, their emotions, and their unique perspective on the world are what make a story feel authentic and personal. This human touch is something an AI cannot fake. It is the flaw in a character that comes from a writer's own insecurity. It is the moment of beauty that comes from a writer's own memory. There are also many challenges with AI-generated text. The AI can be repetitive. It might get stuck on a certain idea or phrase. It can make strange logical leaps where the story suddenly stops making sense. And there are serious ethical questions. Who is the author of an AI-assisted novel? If the AI was trained on copyrighted books, does that violate the rights of the original authors? These are not easy questions. They require us to think carefully about the future of creativity and ownership. The law is still catching up to this new technology, leaving writers and readers in a gray area. The arrival of AI in literature is not an end, but a beginning. It opens up new possibilities for both writers and readers. For writers, AI can be a powerful assistant. It can help overcome writers' block by generating new ideas. It can speed up the research process by summarizing information or creating detailed outlines. It could allow a single writer to produce stories on a scale that was previously impossible. Imagine an author creating an entire series of novels in the time it used to take to write one. AI can handle the repetitive tasks, freeing the writer to focus on the art. For readers, the future could be just as exciting. AI could create personalized stories. Imagine a novel where you are the main character. The story would adapt to your choices, creating a unique narrative just for you. AI could also make literature more accessible. It could translate books instantly into any language, breaking down cultural barriers. It could create versions of classic novels in simpler language for new readers. It could even generate new stories in the worlds of our favorite books, long after the original author has finished writing. The possibilities for interactive and dynamic storytelling are endless. Of course, we must be cautious. We must ensure that AI is used as a tool to enhance human creativity, not replace it. The goal should not be to create factories for cheap, generic stories. The goal should be to push the boundaries of what literature can be. We need to have a public conversation about the ethics of AI in art. We need to create rules that protect writers and reward originality. We must remember that at its core, storytelling is about connection. It is about one human mind reaching out to another. We must not lose that connection in a sea of machine-generated words. The story is not over. We are living in the first chapter of this new age. The technology will continue to improve. The AI of tomorrow will be even more powerful than the AI of today. It will learn to create more complex characters, more intricate plots, and more beautiful prose. The question is not whether AI will be a part of literature's future. It already is. The question is how we will choose to use it. It is a powerful new instrument. Now we must learn how to play it well. So, I will leave you with this thought. If you had a story inside you, would you let a machine help you write it?